Hello Amines, it's Reaver here to bring you the UnWavering Misfits review for LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens. That was a big breath.
Ew.
Oh, whatever. Let's just get into the pros. So to start off, the game still holds up to that classic LEGO charm. Of course, it's mostly talking nowadays, but you still get the grunts and all the other stuff, the funny things happening, and you know, just the whole director thing, just not taking anything seriously. That's the same thing that happens here, so if you were worried that that wasn't the case, it still is. I myself found myself laughing at plenty of times.
Quiet, girl. Quiet, girl. Hush now. Shush it. There's no place like home. 1/4 portion.
Kylo Ren's temper tantrum.
Oh yeah, that was ridiculous. Besides from the main story, which in itself isn't very long, there are plenty of side missions that are kind of like spewing off in all different directions that tell some of the backstory behind this game, like for one, how Poe Dameron learns about the guy who has the map to Luke Skywalker, or at least a piece of it, the Han Solo hunting the Rathars. So, especially if you've already seen the movie and you find the story to be kind of repetitive, boring, or mundane, there are all these extra side missions that will give you sort of something new to do while you're playing it. So it sort of adds to the experience. And besides that, there are also multiple different hub areas. The Resistance base is your main one. But there are different areas for you to go around that are supposed to be, unless you make it so, non-violent. So you go around, you connect these carbonite bricks or do all these other stuff, which will help you unlock characters and get other things done. Quickly getting into this, the carbonite blocks are sort of like these new things. You find them throughout all these hubbish areas. You take them back to the Resistance base, you unlock them, and it's like a free character, but you have to do everything it is to get them first.
There's no Jar Jar Binks.
Yes, thank goodness, there is no Jar Jar Binks, but you can play as J.J. Abrams.
I don't know though, Darth Jar Jar. I'm still kind of hooked on that idea.
Don't, just please, freaking Reddit. Anyway, but besides that, there are hundreds of characters and different little customization options for each of them that you can play as. And besides all that, they now each have their own special ability. Well, for a blaster or lightsaber, there's going to be this blue bar underneath the character's HUD that will fill up as you go and play throughout the game, and once it's filled, you can unleash this special ability which kills most enemies, except for, of course, the bosses. So pretty useful. And lastly, for pros, there are a few new game mechanics. For one is that they're like Lego piles, and instead of just pressing the one button and automatically building just something, new structure from this one Lego pile, they can now be, there's multiple different structures, and to sometimes get through a level, you have to build these structures in a certain order in order to get past, so it's like a teeny puzzle. Not much really, some of them just offer different ways of doing things. And besides that, one other new thing that they added, which is to combat, are mainly on rails cover firefights. You go in and you can switch between all the characters and you just look over, choom, 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 choom. Nothing too extremely new there, but it shakes up the regular just button mashing for the most part from the game.
Thanks, Division.
Oh man. So to do a complete 180 from the point I was originally at in mood, oh my goodness, this game has fatally crashed on me, let me think here, 6 times. 6!
Darth Jar Jar.
In a matter of 10 hours. Oh my word.
Oh, thank you! We thought we were finished! If you were thinking of hitting up the General for a promotion, then this would probably be a good time to do it!
The trolling is strong with this one.
You have to turn it off every single time, because if you try to reload from the last checkpoint, it crashes at that exact same point. Why? Why? Did the game developers not take so much time? And during our gameplay video, if you saw it, the whole game glitched on us again, where Kylo went off to this area and we couldn't follow him. Oh my word.
Darth Jar Jar.
Just shut up, Dross. Yeah, I think the game glitched up on us. This is ridiculous! So as I said, as is with like all the new LEGO games nowadays, they are having the dialogue instead of just the random grunts, which was kind of the staple of the older games. But in this particular game, they use parts from the actual movie, which would be fine if they didn't chop them up so much. If you go in and listen to it, they take like the main pieces of what they're talking about and put them all together. And this can lead to some pretty fast and like hard to follow dialogue. It kind of sounds annoying even. You just find yourself skipping. Hopefully you've seen the movie, but if you haven't, you're kind of wondering what was going on the whole time. For the most part.
You, close the door behind us. You take care of Chewie. Watch the thrust. We're going out of here at light speed.
Is that insane, or is that even possible?
Hang on back there.
Inform the First Order that Han Solo has the droid they want, and it's aboard the Millennium Falcon.
Han Solo!
Oh boy.
Hey, Maz.
I assume you need something. Desperately.
Maz, I need you to get this droid to Leia.
No. You've been running away from this fight for too long. What fight? Against the dark side. Through the ages, I've seen evil take many forms. The Sith, the Empire. Today, it is the First Order.
There is no fight against the First Order. Not one we can win. We all need to run.
You see those two? They'll trade work for transportation to the Outer Rim. There, you can disappear.
I'm not resistance. I'm not a hero.
Finn.
This is another big one for me. Controlling ships in this game is a complete and utter nightmare, for crying out loud.
I thought Battlefront was bad.
Just lost our one.
Guy.
We're overwhelmed. What do we do? It isn't working.
I hate these controls. I feel like they're really bad.
Oh my gosh. You did it.
By the way, I just did that.
Black
No, you
Reader is a
didn't.
brand
So
new
everybody
old
can
man
know,
oscillator.
Reaver was better.
Looks like our friend.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry. Ross was better.
Red 6, cover us.
I have no idea what we're doing.
So the actual story behind this game can be completed in, I would say, close to 4 hours, and this wouldn't be such a problem since a lot of stories nowadays can be completed in that amount of time. But going back to some of the original LEGO Star Wars games and just like Indiana Jones, it took me forever to complete those games. And it was fun too. There was like an incentive to go out, unlock everything, and just you know, have fun in this universe, because it was basically anything you could do. I had the freaking Jedi Force Power Ewok to play as. Man, good times. But in this game, there's just... the story is short, and there isn't a lot of incentive to go out and collect those gold bricks like I felt when I was a kid.
You know what we want, Reaver. Quantity over quality.
Not for crying out loud. So besides for the main story being way too short, in my opinion, some of these missions that they have you do are ridiculous. They are mainly filled with mundane tasks. I would prefer the button mashing to some of the missions you have to do, like when you have to go and find Luke Skywalker's lightsaber in Rey's palace.
Hey, that was my favorite.
Oh, shut your mouth.
And in Rey's palace.
In Maz's palace. Sorry. Another really annoying one was having to get that guy ice cream in the Resistance base.
Excuse me, sir. Would you be so kind as to provide us with access to the supply store? Dear, I am afraid Master Nam is not in a cooperative mood. Apparently, he was promised beetleberry ice cream to cope with the heating here, and he is unwilling to assist until the promise is made good.
Not a problem. Nam is a hero of the rebellion who helped destroy the second Death Star. Frankly, he can even have extra sprinkles if he wants them.
I mean, there's no fighting, there's no anything, it's just trying to squeeze as much time from this already pretty barren piece of crap that there already is. The game's short, and then even making it worse is that some of these missions are extremely pointless and don't even follow the story if you cared.
Filler.
Oh, actually, yeah, it is filler. Despite a lot of these changes made to only like the few game changes made to gameplay, it is still really, really boring. Even Batman seems to have a bit more than this with all of his gadget, but it's just, besides the firefights and the occasional build-in, just like, you know, teeny little platforming, it's just button mashing. And it's not even fun. I don't have words. What other way can you say it? It's just boring and annoying a lot of the time. Maybe wish I could be playing some other game right about that time. Yeah. And lastly, in regards to the combat and all that other stuff, there is no incentive to keep your character alive. Now, this has actually been a problem through most of the LEGO Star Wars games, but at least in the earlier ones, I actually wanted to unlock everything. So I didn't want to die, because then that means you lose studs, which is the exact same thing that happens here. But I just didn't care. You go in, you're playing these missions, and there's no difficulty because it doesn't matter if you die. What's the matter? You're just going to lose maybe 1,000 studs. What difference does that make?
Oh, it's meant for little kids, Reaver.
There is still plenty of adults. I'm playing this game, for crying out loud. Anyway, that's it for cons. The game itself, final verdict. Not particularly good, not particularly bad. If you've played some of the other LEGO Star Wars games, you're going to be kind of disappointed going into this one. I'm sorry, but the final verdict is, it's average. 5 out of 10. There is... If you've never played a LEGO game before, I wouldn't suggest starting with this one. And if you're a Star Wars fan, or if you want to keep the continuity of the movies in check, do not play this game at all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I mean, it's fun if you're a kid, I guess, but...
Actually, start with this one. It's the worst. Then you can go to the better ones.
Oh yeah, so it's like a silent... Don't listen to us. Just play the better ones, for crying out loud. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe because it really does help us out. Have a good day, Yummians.